Well, that's an underwhelming way to clinch the playoffs. Now, admittedly, I look like an idiot for thinking we had clinched 2 games ago. That one's my bad. We really clinched tonight, but I already gave the big emotional spiel about how awesome it is to clinch the playoffs 3 seasons in a row. So I'm not going to talk about that. I'm going to start growing my playoff beard. Once the playoffs start, that's when you'll see the return of the great beard. But on to the game itself, I'm just going to complain about Dallas a little bit and vent about how much I actually really just don't like Dallas. My second favorite team is Colorado, so that doesn't help my dislike of Dallas last year when they took out my second favorite team in the playoffs. I really wanted, one of my 3 favorite teams to do well in the playoffs last year, and the best they did was the second round, and Dallas had a lot to do with it. So, my hatred of Dallas comes from the fact that they were really successful last year, but that's besides the point. Not their branding is they have the most overrated jerseys in the NHL. I'm including the main green one. It just like that jersey doesn't look good, especially when they used to be the beautiful Minnesota North Stars, like at least the North Stars like tied into something Minnesota. They call themselves the Stars. It's a horrible name. It's just so egotistical, like, oh, look at us. We're the Stars. And then not only that, their third jerseys are maybe one of my least favorite jerseys in the NHL. They legitimately look the way Thin Mints taste, which I love Thin Mints. They're great cookies, not great hockey jerseys. I don't know what it is. I think it's just me, but they look the way Thin Mints taste to me. Oh God. And then to top it all off to my hatred, they have to have the best goal horn in the NHL, goal song in the NHL. As much as I hate Dallas, I'm mad when they score, I'm like, God damn it, that song is badass. The whole Dallas, the whole Pantera, it's Pantera. I'm a big metalhead, so the fact that Pantera has Dallas's goal horn, you got the drums and everything, like yeah, and then to top it all off, it's even kind of not even exciting is not the right word, but I get conflicted emotion. I'm like, oh fuck, they scored. Oh, this song's not too bad, but like it's just I hate everything about Dallas, and they're not approaching Boston, they're not approaching Pittsburgh territory for my hatred. They're probably approaching Washington. I'm not sure, but no, I hate Washington more. But yeah, they're approaching that level, and I had to complain about them for a little bit. As for the Hurricanes, this game itself, to me, this game felt like they did things right. They came in, the first period was awful. Well, I mean, that was bad, but in general, they did things where they were playing well throughout the game, but it always felt like something missing. And for me, I think it is injuries, not in that we have less talent on our team, which is going to happen with injuries, but talent isn't everything in hockey. It's part of what makes hockey an amazing sport. Is some teams all end up getting better after they get rid of a star. My cousin texted me about how the Islanders had success. I'm like, yeah, they honestly started getting more success after Tavares left. Now that ties into coaching, but still, so talent isn't everything. You can lose a player and still be fine. Look at Washington this year. Look at Pittsburgh. They do it every season. They get hurt like crazy, and then they still find a way to make the playoffs, and it pisses me off. But for me, the losing of injuries is the fact that they've lost a lot of the energy guys on their team. Jordan Martinook, Brock McGinn. These guys are valuable players that you need in the lineup when you are short of those all stars. So for me, it's the fact that not only has Carolina lost their talent, and Jesper Foster had been playing very well, and Toivo Teravainen. It's not that they just lost those guys, it's that they have also now lost the Martinooks of the team. And when you start losing a mix of those guys and get hit with the injury bug, then I think that's when it starts to affect their team because now you're not getting as much energy as you used to, but you don't have as much talent. So I think for me, the combination of those injuries is what really is hurting the Hurricanes the past couple of games. Now, granted, this game isn't as annoying as the overtime loss to Florida because this game they bared down and came back and tied the game up rather than being the team to give up that game. But it's still, I feel like Carolina needs to walk out with wins against teams like Dallas. I mean, like I said before, we have our faith in our hands. So if we do not finish first in our division, or even if we come in third, God forbid, we only have ourselves to blame. So, I feel like we got to come in, and when we face teams like Dallas, we at least got to get the split. And tomorrow night, for me, the pressure is on us. Carolina, I feel like, is at the point where they need a 3-game winning streak to really just reclaim a lot of the momentum that they had 4 games ago, or that they had during their 8-game winning streak. But more on the game itself, I thought, other than the fact that Carolina didn't have momentum, the first period was awful. Although the second goal, I will say this for the second goal, I don't blame Jordan Stahl for that. Honestly, as much as I complain about the way certain goals go in, which I will for the first goal of the game in a minute, that is a goal I don't mind seeing go in because it's a fluke play. The guy managed to direct it off his skate into the net without making it a distinct kicking motion. Like, that's just a good fluke play for Dallas, and I'm not going to blame Jordan Stahl for that. He had the stick covered. Yeah, like, that's going to happen, and those are the kinds of goals I don't mind seeing go in, even on Reimer. The first goal, however, Hakanpää had a very up and down game. I think he's a good player that summarizes this game, but I thought he made some particularly bad turnovers and bad plays tonight. And knocking the Dallas player into the goalie was a mistake. Now, the goal might have gone in either way, but that definitely didn't help, and that's unacceptable. Like, if you're a defenseman and the guy's got in on you to where if you're going to knock him over, he's going to fall into the goalie, you can't knock him over. It's just the way it is to me, and I think that's unacceptable because all you're doing is deflecting Reimer from being able to get up, use his pad to deflect the save. So, that goal was definitely Hakanpää's fault. However, Hakanpää did make up for a lot of his turnovers and mistakes by tying up the game with a goal. So, good on Hakanpää, comes in on a trade, deflects the puck in the net. However, I thought he didn't have a good game, even though he scored, and I've liked what Hakanpää has brought to the team. I don't know how hot of a take this is. I think so far, even with how I just complained about his play tonight, he's been an upgrade from Hayden Fleury. In my opinion, might be a bit of a hot take. Now, yeah, so the good news is, though, Carolina does clinch the goal with 69 points. I had a number on the brain or something. With 69 points. I feel bad for Reimer. I don't blame him for his goals against average probably being low, but yeah, Carolina clinches the playoff with 69 points. That's pretty nice, but I would have rather had the win and clinch the playoffs with 79, or, then you can still say we clinched with 69, but hey, there's always next game. Those are my thoughts on the game. Comment down below, what do you guys think about the game? Do you agree with my hypothesis on what Carolina's kind of missing over the past couple of games? And if you guys like the content I'm producing on the channel, don't forget to hit like and subscribe. Hit the bell if you want to be notified for my next Hurricanes games upload, which will be tomorrow night. Hopefully, that's actually when I'll be staying at a hotel. Work schedule changed, yada, yada, yada. But tomorrow night will be the hotel night where I got to watch the game on my computer. And if you guys want to help build a community of Caniacs here on YouTube, don't forget to hit share. And I'll talk to you guys again tomorrow.